Welcome to day 2 of our week of voting. Today we are going to be focusing on political parties. Our I can statement for today, I can identify characteristics of the political parties. We are going to be focusing on a few vocabulary words throughout this lesson. Political party is one of them, and that is an organization of people who hold similar beliefs. It's not technically a party like a birthday party or any type of other celebration. This is just more groups of people. If you think of birthday parties, you have a big group of people um, celebrating one thing, maybe probably a birthday. If you think of different political parties, these are also groups of people, but they just hold similar political beliefs rather than celebrating a person's birthday. An independent is a person who does not side with a specific political party, and we are going to learn more about the different political parties, but they don't agree with just one side or the other. They kind of have mixed views of both. A candidate is a person applying for a job, or in our case scenario, who is nominated for election, like a president. And the last vocabulary word we're going to be looking at is primary debate. And this is the first discussion where two or more people argue or give their opinions about specific topics. So, in our Democratic Republic, there are two major political parties in the United States, and these are Republicans and Democrats. And it's important to remember that not all Republicans and Democrats are the same or believe exactly the same things. Just because you identify as Democrat doesn't mean that you have some Republican views, and vice versa. If you're a Republican, doesn't mean you have maybe some Democrat views. Everyone is different, everyone believes different things, but these are the general things that Democrats believe and that Republicans believe. The first thing, we'll start with the Democrats. They believe that the federal or national government should make more of the decisions. They should not be in charge of, the people should not be in charge of that, but they think that the federal government should. They also believe that the federal government should take care of people in need. And so this could be health care, this could be just you have you lost your job, you need money. They think that the federal government should take care of these people. They also believe that the government should pay more for things, but this means that the people will have higher taxes, because if you want the government to pay things, how does government function? People paying their taxes. And one thing that people pay their taxes for is for you to go to school. Um, for public school. If you want to go to private school, that's a different story. But for public school, taxes is one of those things. But they believe that the government should have to pay for more things. And they also believe that the best way to prevent war is to cooperate with other countries. When looking at more of the Republican side, they think that local governments, so like Story County, um, if we were looking in Des Moines, just like Des Moines, like the area, like Polk County, um, they should be more in charge of making decisions and not the federal government. They also believe that local governments, people, and charities should take care of people in need rather than the federal government. They also believe that the government needs fewer or lower taxes, and that the best way to prevent war is to have a strong army. So this is called the political spectrum, and people can fall anywhere along the scale below. Someone who leans left, more over here, typically believes with more Democrat viewpoints, and then someone who kind of leans more right often typically agrees with more Republican viewpoints. If you are in the middle, that's called center. If you kind of have idea like beliefs or ideologically, I can't say that word, ideological beliefs of Democrats and Republicans, you're more center. And it's also important to note that not all Republicans and Democrats believe everything listed here. Some People have different viewpoints, and this is kind of more of a broad generalization than anything. But generally speaking, both Republicans and Democrats truly want what is best for our country and people. They just have different options and opinions about the government's role and how to accomplish that. Do have different parties. One of those was independent. One of our vocab words earlier. Um, that is someone who doesn't choose sides or parties, but they do agree with some views of Democrats and some views of Republicans. If we go back to our political spectrum, they would fall more in this center. They kind of believe some of the things that Democrats believe. They kind of believe some of the things that Republicans believe, but they don't necessarily agree with all of the things that Republicans believe or all of the things that Democrats believe. They kind of take some here and there, and they're more in the center. So they don't have a party per se. They just kind of make their own with the different things that Republicans believe and Democrats believe. The other party is called the Libertarian Party, and this is the third largest party um, next to Democrats and Republicans. They generally run for election, but not we. If we go look at this, we do not see any presidents who have been um, a libertarian. But we do know that George Washington was the first president of the United States who wasn't affiliated with any political party. But no libertarians have been president of the United States yet. So George Washington, we would define him as an independent. Going back to libertarians, some of the things that they believe in, they support less regulated markets, a less powerful state, strong civil liberties, um, civil meaning um, citizens and their rights. They want you guys to have freedom. They want us to have more freedom, not having to be government regulated. And they want to kind of stay out of other countries' wars, and freedom of trade, travel to all foreign countries, and just a better democracy in general. So, yeah, we'll go back to this. Our current president is Donald Trump, and he is a Republican. Our old president, Barack Obama, was a Democrat. And this is the number of presidents from each political party. We have had 14 Democrats and 19 Republicans serve as president. We are now going to kind of go into presidential candidates. And our I can statement for this is I can identify the requirements and the process of presidential candidates. So we know this already, but it's always a good refresher. The requirements to be president, you have to be a natural born citizen of the United States. You have to at least be 35 years old, and you have to at least have been a resident in the US for 14 years. So, most presidents actually start campaigning nearly 2 years before the actual election. And this kind of gives them time to get their name out to people, get heard if we aren't really familiar with them, if they weren't the president earlier. This kind of gives them um, a way to get their name out there before this actually starts happening, and to raise money for their campaigns because they are very expensive to run for president. And so, um, yeah, then they are going to debate. And so each party, Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, they will host a series of 12 primary debates among the same party candidates, meaning that all of the Democrats are going to be debating against each other and all of the Republicans are going to be debating against each other. And this will give them a chance to explain their beliefs and positions on certain issues. And you may be asking yourself, why do they want to go against each other? Why are they debating themselves? I thought that when we think about our current situation, Joe Biden and President Trump, they aren't from the same party. Why are they debating each other? I thought they want the same things. Well, this purpose Just saying, because we can't have more than one person from our party to run for president. And this kind of narrows it down to ultimately get to that one person and seeing why they would be a good candidate for their party. Now, I would like you guys to go listen to our read aloud for today. It is from the book D is for Democracy. It'll be talking about political parties. And then if you are a online learner, I would like you to go to this section of your brochure, fill this out. If you are an in-person learner, still go to this, but fill it out on paper. I hope you guys learned a lot today. If you have any questions, email your teacher.